What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, the uncrowned Otaku. Latest chapter, Hajime no Ippo came out, and I told y'all that sparring session was a little more than a sparring session. Ippo went full throttle against Volg, and I told you, even him going full throttle, like he got leveled. That's why Ippo gonna stay as a trainer. But we're not going back into that discussion. The only reason I brought that up is because we're seeing the effects of it now. Turns out Ippo was a terrible sparring choice for Volg, because not only, well, I guess Ippo, probably did tune Volg up, but he did damage to Volg right before he had to defend his world championship for the first time. And Volg, if I was him, I would have told it to my coach and probably had the match canceled, but I can see, or not canceled, but rescheduled. But I can see how that will make Volg look weak. This is his first title defense. He was probably like, what, a month out from it, because they were already in Mexico getting acclimated. So they were close to the fight time. They were probably a month out, maybe 2 weeks out. And for Volg to reschedule, people could take it as him being weak, him being scared. Volg doesn't want that. So instead of telling his coach that his ribs were hurt because of Ippo, every time Volg throws a right, he feels a sharp pain in his ribs, like it's pressing against his organs. He couldn't tell his coach that because Volg doesn't want to be seen as weak. Volg's going to defend this title. And when he starts the match, you can see he's like, okay, well, I'm going to go full throttle because I don't know when this damage is really going to kick in, and I don't know when people are going to notice. So Volg immediately slips one of the punches. Bow, catches dude with a fang, but can't follow it up because he's supposed to throw the right, a chopping right down to finish him off. But the moment he sets up to throw it, the pain, we see the page right there. We see the page. Volg is like, I can't move my right arm. So instead of following up, he has to back down. And Ippo, being the dummy that he is, great boxer, stupid human, Ippo's so focused on, I got to get the stool right. I can't throw the stool. Should I take my weights off to be faster? Or maybe I should just leave him on because I can do it normally. He's worried about how fast he can put a stool down, but he does notice Volg is moving stiff. And I think Ippo's the only one that's noticed he's moving a little bit stiff right now. Ippo's so worried about being a good cornerman, being a good stool guy, that he can't see that he hurt the world champion before his match. I think if Ippo knew he hurt him, Ippo would be feeling massive guilt right now. Especially if, could you imagine if Volg loses this fight? Forget the potential of an Ippo comeback or anything like that. If Volg loses this fight, could you imagine how he would feel about Ippo? He might blame Ippo for losing. He might blame him. Why would you go full throttle? Why would you hit me in the body with a massive blow like that during a sparring session? All you had to do was lightly touch. That was not light touch sparring, Ippo. Could you imagine the rift it could create in their friendship? That's crazy to think about, ain't it? That's crazy. Ippo could lose him a world championship because Volg's not able to display 100% of his capability. If he can't throw his right, he's not even able to display 50% because he's literally fighting with one arm. What kind of nonsense? Why would Ippo do such a thing? He has so much more to learn about being a good coach, so much more to learn about being a good second, and more to learn about being a good sparring partner. Sparring, you don't try to hurt the person. You try to be your best to let them let them imagine what their opponent might do and how to counter. You don't try to do damage to your sparring partner. I could be wrong. I'm not a boxer. Feel free to correct me if I got any boxers in there that want to be like, no, when you spar, you're supposed to hurt them up. Because I believe they said light touch. I'm not going back to read, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be light touch sparring. You don't go with the intention to hurt the world champion. Ippo hurt the world champion. And even when Ippo did hurt him, you see Volg still pieced this man up. Volg was still hit him with the piece de la resistance. So even injured, Volg is a fighter. So I'm not really too afraid Volg's gonna lose this match yet. Because we know Volg is still a fighter. Volg will adapt and he will find a new way to finish the match. Volg is a world champion for a reason. Can he weather this pain? I don't know. Can he work around not being able to throw the right like he wants to? That's the only cause for a little concern, but I think he'll figure out something. I think if he can endure the pain for one right, that could be the finishing right that he needs to throw. Now, what do y'all think, though? Ippo's so worried about the stool. Do you think Ippo's going to mess up the stool during Wally's match? Do you think Ippo's going to do anything stupid as a second during Wally's match? And do you think Volg is going to lose this fight and blame Ippo? That's a very high, very realistic possibility that we're looking at. Comment down below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to all our social media jazz. Uncrowned Kingdom. I'm your boy, Uncrowned Otaku. That's the fire that keeps the kingdom burning safe. And it's got to be a wide fire now because we're growing, yo. I'm proud of the kingdom. We're growing every day, and I love to see it. Now, this fire won't go out, but I'm going to go out for a second. Y'all be easy.